Money laundering is the process whereby the proceeds of crime are transformed into legitimate money or assets. The Money Laundering Act 2013 makes it mandatory for individuals to declare cash exceeding $10,000 on the cash declaration form when traveling out of the country. It's another beautiful Wednesday and welcome to the program, The Eagle. My name is Aisha Gambari. With me on the program is Aisha Mohammed. Hello dear.
Hi Aisha. Good evening viewers and thanks for joining us on the program.
EFCC will get you anywhere, anytime.
Good evening and welcome to the program, The Eagle. Today's edition promised to be very exciting as we bring you activities within and outside the Commission. My name is Aisha Gambari.
And I am Aisha Mohammed. Thank you for joining us. Sit back and enjoy the program.
EFCC will get you anywhere, anytime.
As the Commission continues to secure more convictions in court, we shall be bringing you reports on this development.
Also today, Chief Medical Director of the Federal Medical Center, Owo, Ondo State, Dr. Olufemi Omotosho and his lawyer, Ayodele Owoka, will finally have their date in court for offering bribe to the Commission's operative.
Stay tuned, all this will come your way after this timeout. Don't go away.
Cheers! Cheers! What is it?
Please, keep to yourself. Chief Urabo, I got a telephone call.
Anytime I close my eyes,
yes,
I see dead people chasing me in my sleep.
My Jehovah Magadam.
Is it possible for someone to become restless just because of his past deeds?
Nevertheless, unless you kill somebody dead, then the spirit will be haunted you. Hey! Was you all contractors?
I embezzled all the money for the roads that are now death traps, killing people every day. I approved the supplies of fake drugs on pipe-on water. I embezzled the money at the fear chief.
You are supposed to fear a special man that the people of EFCC and chose people who are doing to submit other people's money. EFCC, as soon as they capture them, straight to prison. Jail. Jail. How you are? Life are not just about acquire wealth, making money. When other people are getting die of hunger and neglect, be careful. EFCC I watch.
EFCC will get you anywhere, anytime.
We'll begin the program today with a report on recent convictions secured by the Commission. The convicts were sentenced to various years of imprisonment for offences ranging from advance fee fraud to land scam and obtaining money by false pretense. We'll start the story with Ibrahim Abiodun Atobatele, who was sentenced to 14 years imprisonment.
Atobatele was arrested by the EFCC for collecting about 3 million naira from his victim on the pretext of helping him get a 2003 model Lexus Sport utility car, but he failed to deliver on the promise. Kamali Gebi has more. Please stay tuned.
Justice Adebisi Akinlade of a Lagos State High Court, sitting in Igboshere, Lagos, sentenced Abiodun Ibrahim Atobatele to 14 years imprisonment for obtaining by false pretense. Atobatele was said to have collected the sum of about 3 million naira fraudulently from one Gabriel Onipede in the guise of helping him get a 2003 model Lexus sports utility vehicle, but failed to deliver on the promise. When he was arrested by the EFCC, he confessed that he used the money to pay his house rent and address his wife's spiritual problems. Upon his arrest, he was arraigned by the EFCC on a 2-count charge, bordering on obtaining money by false pretense. Justice Akinlade found him guilty on the 2 counts and sentenced him to 7 years imprisonment on each count. The sentence is to run concurrently from the day of his conviction. The judge also directed that Atobatele should hand over his landed property at Ifong, Osun State, to EFCC as restitution. Also, Justice Lambo Akambi of the Federal High Court, Port Harcourt, has convicted and sentenced one Abdullahi Kokari to 7 years in prison. The convict was first arraigned on November 12, 2013 on a 15-count charge of obtaining money from one Baba Ganachiroma under false pretense. Abdullahi Kokari was discharged and acquitted on counts 1 and count 2, but convicted and sentenced to 7 years imprisonment on counts 3 to 15. The sentence is to run concurrently. Another convict, Olasupo Alimi, bagged 18 months imprisonment for stealing the sum of 12 million naira from an unsuspecting land buyer, Francisca Aire Ohimiri. Justice Latifa Okunu of a Lagos State High Court sentenced the estate agent and also ordered him to make restitution to the victim. The convict was brought before Okunu on 2 counts charge of advance fee fraud and theft. The EFCC alleged that the convict obtained the said sum from the complainant, being the price of 6 plots of land at Okungaja in the Lekki area of Lagos. He was said to have purportedly sold the land on behalf of one Adekambi family. Trouble, however, began when months after paying for the land, the complainant, who had traveled to the United States, was told by her lawyer that some persons had started erecting a fence around the land. Aire Ohimiri was said to have traveled down to Nigeria, upon which the estate agent became evasive. When he finally surfaced, he was said to have confessed that he had resold the land to another buyer and offered to allocate another piece of land to the complainant. The new piece of land was said to belong to one Olukosi family, who however stopped the complainant from taking possession of the land on the grounds that the convict had not fully paid for the land. It was said that all efforts to make the convict refund the complainant's money proved abortive. Giving judgment, Justice Okunu absolved Alimi of the advance fee fraud allegation but convicted him on the charge of theft. In another development, a federal high court sitting in Maitama, Abuja, has ordered the extradition of Abdul Adewale Kekereekun to the United Kingdom, where he is wanted for murder-related offences. Justice A.R. Mohammed gave the nod for Kekereekun's extradition after his lawyers dropped their objection to the extradition request brought by the Office of the Attorney General of the Federation in the face of compelling argument. Kekereekun is said to be extradited 15 days from the date of the ruling. He is wanted in the UK for the murder of one Marcus Hall, an 18-year-old who was beaten and stabbed to death 14 years ago following a fight outside a nightclub in Luton, England. The rest of the culprits have been prosecuted and jailed in the United Kingdom, but Kekereekun had been on the run. The UK police had difficulties in tracking him down because he frequently disguises himself with several aliases. The suspect was arrested by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) in Lagos on February 12, 2015 with the support of the UK National Crime Agency. He was picked up for identity theft-related offences, only for checks by the agency to reveal that he is on the wanted list of the UK police.
Welcome back. After several weeks of playing hide and seek with the EFCC, the Chief Medical Director of the Federal Medical Center of Ondo State, Dr. Olufemi Omotosho, and his lawyer, Ayodele Owoka, have finally been arraigned by the EFCC for offering gratification to its operatives. Golden Agu is our guide.
The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, arraigned Dr. Olufemi Omotosho and his counsel, Ayodele Owoka, before Justice Lateef Lawal Akapo of the Lagos High Court, sitting in Ikeja, on a 5-count charge bordering on conspiracy to offer gratification to a public officer, destroying of evidence and giving of false information. Owoka was arrested sometime in 2014 at the EFCC's office in Ikoyi, Lagos, where he had reportedly gone to bribe a team of operatives investigating a case of contract inflation, abuse of office, stealing, embezzlement and misappropriation of funds at the Federal Medical Center, Owo, Ondo State. The lawyer confessed after his arrest that he offered the operatives the sum of 1,200,000 naira, which was allegedly given to him by Dr. Omotosho to bribe the team to soft pedal on their investigations. Owoka said he was offered a total sum of 1,500,000 naira, but withheld 300,000 naira for his personal use. When the charges were read to the two accused persons, they pleaded not guilty. In a related development, a legal practitioner, Barrister Babatunde Ojo, who is currently being prosecuted by the EFCC before Justice Oluwatoyin Ikpaye of the Lagos State High Court, Ikeja, has pleaded not guilty to a 48-count charge bordering on obtaining money by false pretense, forgery and issuance of dot checks brought against him by the Commission. Ojo allegedly used his company, Amberville Communications Limited, to obtain the sum of about 120 million from a couple in the guise of allocating 50 shops to them at a shopping complex in Ajah, Lagos, for which he failed to deliver. After efforts by the couple to get a refund of the money paid for the shops proved abortive, they decided to report the case to the EFCC. The commission swung into action and Ojo was arrested. Golden Agu reporting for the Eagle.
For me to buy correct motor, for me to take make my dough.
Reminiscing as I walk to my car, thinking about how it used to be. For Ekoma, I did ride Okada, and most times I did so carry. I wanted to change the way I live, but I didn't have to do those things. Now I'm rolling VIP, and all the girls wanna be like me. Yeah. You ask me how I deal with my reality. Gotta tell you truly, it ain't easy now. I feel the pressure to find something wrong to do. Then I remember you reap what you sow. Now I'm sitting staring at the screen of my computer, thinking really hard about what truly matters. What's with all this data? Just to catch a maga. He could have been my father or someone else's brother.
For me to buy correct motor, for me to take make my dough.
You're still watching the program, The Eagle. The Court of Appeal Lagos Division has ordered the Chief Judge of Lagos State, Justice Fumilayo Atilade, to reassign to another judge the trial of Frank Ama implicated in a 66 million naira property scam. Thelma Eke has the rest of the story.
Ama was originally arraigned before Justice Morenike Obadina of the Lagos High Court in 2007 on a 6-count charge bordering on conspiracy to obtain money from one Donatus Duru by false pretense. He was discharged and acquitted on all counts by the court. However, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, appealed the ruling at the Court of Appeal. In a judgment delivered recently, the appellate court affirmed the decision of Justice Obadina in counts 1, 2, 3, and 4 of the charges preferred against Ama, but held that Ama had a case to answer in counts 5 and 6 and remitted the case to the Chief Judge of Lagos State for reassignment to another judge for trial. Ama was involved in a property scam with Duru, initially to the tune of about 100 million naira. In a letter written by Chief Afe Babalola SAN to the EFCC in 2005 on behalf of Duru, Ama allegedly sold a federal government property at number 7 Bell Avenue, Ikoyi, Lagos to Duru in the said sum. In the transaction, Ama allegedly informed Duru that the original allottee of the property was one Abubakar Malam, a deputy controller of customs who had authorized him to dispose the property on his behalf. In spite of all these payments, the federal government reportedly cancelled all the allotments and sale made by the committee and directed that the money collected from buyers be returned. Based on this development, Duru said the federal government refunded the money he paid to the implementation committee. He said out of the 102 million naira paid into Ama's company account, Chai Frank Nigeria Limited, only 34 million naira was returned to him by Ama, leaving a balance of over 66 million naira. Thelma Eke reporting for the Eagle.
We will take a short break now, and when we return, Rahima Gambo will bring you a report on the continuation of hearing in the ongoing trial of a former Accountant General of Taraba State, Joel Joseph, who is being prosecuted by the EFCC for offences bordering on obtaining by false pretense. Please stay tuned.
EFCC will get you anywhere, anytime.
Justice Donatus Okorowo of the Federal High Court, Jalingo, Taraba State, has fixed April 20th to 24th, 2015 for continuation of hearing in the ongoing trial of a former Accountant General of Taraba State, Joel Joseph, who is being prosecuted by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, for offences bordering on obtaining by false pretense. The accused person, who was arraigned on an 8-count charge in July 2014 by the EFCC, allegedly abused his office and stole funds amounting to over 1 billion naira. He, however, pleaded not guilty and was granted bail by court. At the resumed hearing of the case, a prosecution witness and chief accountant of the state, Boughton Issa, told the court how his office raised the alarm over irregular increase in the figure for salary payment approved by the accused. He said as a result of the whistleblowing, a committee was set up to investigate the payroll, which eventually confirmed that the former Accountant General fraudulently inflated the wage bill of the state. Still on court matters, another state official, Bulus Adamu Samuel, who is a former chairman of Shongom Local Government and Commissioner for Culture and Tourism in Gombe State, has been granted bail by Justice M.G. Umar of a Federal High Court sitting Bauchi State. Samuel is being prosecuted by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, on a 4-count charge bordering on conspiracy, forgery, contract scam, misappropriation of public funds, theft, and abuse of office. The judge granted the accused bail in the sum of 5 million naira with 2 sureties in like sum. The sureties must be senior officers in Gombe State Civil Service, not below the rank of director, and must have landed properties within the state capital with statutory rights. The accused was arraigned on March 9, 2015 for allegedly inflating a contract for the electrification of 17.5-kilometer route covering 9 villages in the Shongom Local Government Council. The court adjourned the matter for continuation of trial. Rahima Gambo reporting for the Eagle.
Cheers! Cheers! What is it?
Please, keep to yourself.
I got a telephone call.
Anytime I close my eyes, I see dead people chasing me in my sleep.
My Jova Magadam.
Chief, is it possible for someone to become restless just because of his past?
Nevertheless, unless you kill somebody dead, then the spirit will be haunted you.
Hey!
Was you all contractors?
I embezzled all the money for the roads that are now death traps, killing people every day. I approved the supplies of fake drugs on pipe and water. I embezzled the money. I dey fear, Chief.
You are supposed to fear, especially now that the people of EFCC are chasing people who are doing to support other people with money. EFCC, as soon as they capture them, straight to prison.
Chief, jail.
Jail.
Ah!
How you are? Life are not just about acquire wealth, making money. When other people are didn't die of hunger and neglect. Be careful. EFCC I watch.
EFCC will get you anywhere, anytime.
And now to Sokoto State, where the Commission rearranged Mohammed Bello Abubakar, former Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, Sokoto State, and Abubakar Abdullahi Ahmad, a former Deputy Director in the ministry.
The duos alongside their companies are being prosecuted by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission EFCC on a 43 counts charge bordering on conspiracy, forgery and money laundering. Kamil Gabi has more.
Mohammed Bello Abubakar and Abubakar Abdullahi Ahmed and their companies, Rose Gallery Nigeria Limited, Silver Spring Concept, and Cytex Multi-Service Limited, were rearranged before Justice Rilwan Aikawa of the Federal High Court, Sokoto. The trial of the two civil servants, who are being prosecuted for evidently living beyond their means as the extent of their assets is not commensurate with their legitimate source of income, began in May 2014. But in a twist of sorts to what has now become a keenly monitored trial, Justice Aikawa on January 30th, 2015, at the last hearing of the case, quashed the proceedings of May 21st, 2014, on the grounds that the court foisted counsel on the first and third accused persons, and ruled that the trial begin afresh. At the resumption of the fresh trial, prosecution witness Usman Mohammed Mukhtar, an operative of the EFCC, while being led in evidence by the prosecuting counsel, S.K. Ati, told the court that he received a petition against Abubakar alleging gross abuse of his position to acquire wealth, which he subsequently investigated. He said the petition indicated that he was living a lifestyle not commensurate with his income as a public servant. The witness said the petition was followed up by a discreet investigation which further exposed various unethical activities by the accused persons. The witness went further, and I quote, "During investigation, I identified the second accused person, Ahmed, a Director of Finance, now retired in the Ministry of Environment, Sokoto State, formerly Deputy Director, Ministry of Local Government and Community Development, Sokoto. The third accused, Rose Gallery Nigeria Limited, and the fourth accused, Silver Spring Concept, were identified as companies, where the first accused, Abubakar, is a director and a signatory to the bank accounts. The fifth accused person, Cytex Multi-Service Limited, was a company in which the second accused person is a sole signatory to the bank account, with his wife and children as directors of the company." End of quote. Abubakar is alleged to be the owner of 5 companies: Rose Gallery Nigeria Limited, Silver Spring Concept, Gidadawa Global Ventures, BAG Interiors, and Eco Habitat Nigeria Limited, which have various bank accounts through which suspicious transfers were made.
Aisha,
Yes, sir.
do you know that the EFCC Establishment Act 2004 empowers the Commission to investigate individuals who appear to be living above their means?
Oh yes, Aisha. Section 7, subsection 1b says, and I quote, "The Commission has power to cause investigations to be conducted into the properties of any person if it appears to the Commission that that person's lifestyle and the extent of his properties are not justifiable by source of income." End of quote. With that information, we draw the curtains on today's edition of the program. Please join us next week for another interesting package. To leave a comment, please send your contributions to info@efccnigeria.org.
Or search for us on Google Plus at Official EFCC or officialefcc@gmail.com. You can also like our page on facebook.com/officialefcc or follow us on Twitter @officialefcc. And to watch our programs and other activities, please log on to youtube.com/officialefcc. My name is Aisha Mohammed. See you next week.
I remain Aisha Gambari. God bless Nigeria. Bye-bye.